Hello and welcome to today's video. So I recently took a trip to the coast of Oregon and got to check out some incredible locations like Canon Beach, Crescent Beach, and Cape Juarez. And on this journey, I'm bringing along with me my Fuji 645. This camera has been my most recent pickup, and I've honestly fallen in love with it. It's an incredibly light, medium format film camera that happens to be a rangefinder. And because rangefinders don't have those mirrors, they're just a lot easier to lug around and don't feel like this very cumbersome thing to have with you while you're traveling. So in this video, all the images that I'll be showing off will be taken on this camera, and we'll really be able to test how well this camera performs. So our journey begins here at Canon Beach. And this iconic landmark of the Oregon coast has been on my travel wish list for quite a while. And with any famous landmark, something that I really strive to do, really try to find something that's different, show off this famous landmark in a way that you haven't seen it before. And that was kind of my creative challenge in this specific location. And this image really demonstrates what I was trying to go for. I love the symmetry with the rocks on both sides and the perfect framing of the tree branches around Haystack Rock. Definitely one of my faves from the trip. After going to the beach itself and taking a handful of shots, after taking like 2 or 3, every picture coming out probably looks the exact same. So I decided to walk back away from the beach so I could incorporate some more foreground elements and really give the scene more visual interest and depth. And surprisingly enough, this camera happened to have a self-timer. So of course we tried to take some pictures here too. Sorry. So on this trip, I made it a point to shoot at least one roll of black and white. And so here on the beach, I'm loading up some Kentmere 400, which I'm pushing 2 stops. Yeah, I definitely need to shoot more black and white. The next day, I drove an hour and a half down to Cape Juarez. And when you're walking down the trail, this lighthouse just shoots up into your view, and we got some pretty interesting pictures here too. Afterward, I headed up to Crescent Beach, and at this location, they actually shot a few scenes from the Goonies. So there's some fun history for you. Here we get this magnificent view of the rocks in the ocean. You can see Haystack Rock in the background, and these beautiful waves just crashing into the shore. Truly feels like you can't take a bad picture here. So here's my pro tip that I will be doing for the rest of my life. So you know, these dumb little things and how you always need an extra, and if you don't have one, you can no longer shoot. I've been putting these little hair elastics on these and been using them to reinforce these, because sometimes they don't stick, sometimes they fall off, and now there's really good tension here. So there's my pro tip. The next day, I drove another hour and a half, you'll notice there's a theme here, over to Multnomah Falls. And this iconic bridge and waterfall was definitely a must-see on my list, but something awful happened, and we'll get to that. So here I shot my first ever roll of Lomo 800, and maybe I'm just using it wrong, but for most 120 film, there's a fold in the backing paper which you insert into the take-up spool, and that gives it the proper tension as you're winding the camera. This didn't have a fold, it was just like this very long tapered piece of paper. I ended up folding a corner myself, wound up the camera, shot this entire roll. It was so hard to advance, and it was kind of getting jammed. Forcing the advance, it felt like it was gonna snap off, and that's obviously never good. So I very carefully, kept advancing it, opened up the camera, and this, oh gosh. The roll of Lomo 800 was squishy. There was too much slack that wasn't taken in, and this roll was loose around the edges. I knew this entire roll was going to be ruined. I was devastated and upset because I literally just finished shooting there, but I had the foresight to shoot a backup roll of Kodak Gold, and I'm so glad I did because we got some really good pictures out of it. And here I'll show you what happened to the roll of film. You can see these very prominent light leaks on the edges, and exactly what I was expecting is what happened. Because it wasn't wound tightly enough, all the edges got light leaked like crazy. I mean, some of them could be kind of cool, but yeah, they were botched. Kind of a disappointing experience considering it was my first time shooting Lomo 800, but oh well. And the final day on my trip, I headed over to the Silver Falls. And here there's about like 10 or so waterfalls, all within this little trail that you can go hike around. Actually, why'd I say little? It's not little at all. It truly looked like Jurassic Park. The greenery and trees was breathtaking. And on this day, it was particularly foggy, and we had this mist coming in just across some mossy branches. And I thought, wow, that looks really pretty. Like the way the light's hitting these with the fog and everything, but it was like beneath the trail. I even had walked off and I turned around, saw the scene again. I'm like, oh goodness, like I have to shoot it. So I walked back down, trip over a bunch of branches, go down a bit, and then I was able to take this shot. Now at this location, it was raining quite a bit, and I was pretty nervous that I was gonna break my camera, but luckily I did have a waterproof shell for my backpack that is stored in the bottom of it, which was super clutch. I was so upset because I packed and flew with an umbrella, and then literally the one day that I forgot it in the hotel was the one day that it was raining so much. But oh well. And I'll now show you all the images that I took as I wrap up this video. I really loved getting to use this camera, and it makes me really excited to use this camera more. Despite its reputation for being fragile, I've quickly fallen in love with how easy it is to use, and especially that internal light meter, which is a complete game changer. That's one less item that I need to bring while packing. And so far from the images, it seems really accurate to me. So yeah, I'm very impressed with all of the images that came out of it. It truly makes me more excited to use it. So yeah, eventually when I have more thoughts, I'll give a more comprehensive review on the camera in general. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please like it. It actually makes a big difference. Do not forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.